Yo dudes of the Mirko, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a new video that will be uploaded weekly to my channel. Unfortunately, I didn't get to upload this instantly right after MPL Indonesia wrapped up, because right after MPL Indonesia week 1 wrapped up, I went straight into the Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals group stage. And then after that, it was straight into the playoffs. And now, finally, I have some free time to edit and to record this video. Let me know if you guys enjoy these kind of videos, recapping the entire week of what exactly happened in the ML world, in case you missed any of the matches, in case you missed anything that anything. In case you missed anything in the MLBB esports scene, you guys can always come to this channel, can always come to this video. So welcome if you guys are new. If you guys are old, welcome to the new type of content and style on the channel that we're going to be doing while we're doing MPL ID, because I'm casting like all 3 days, sometimes 4 days. So yeah, not much content gonna go around. But yeah, without further ado, I think we should start with week 1, day number 1 of MPL Indonesia Season 12. Everything was new. Everything was very, very exciting, especially considering, Dewa United made their debut on day number 1 of MPL Indonesia Season 12. Now, you guys can see the drafts right now up on the screen. This is how we're going to be talking about it. We're going to see the draft, we're going to see the MVP, and then we are going to talk about it, okay? So yeah, here, Aura Fire, very disappointing. It was a very disappointing performance for Aura Fire, coming off of a lot of a grand finals performance in Hero Esports, the tournament to determine the ISF national representatives for Indonesia. And they also beat Bigetron Alpha in the SPS Challenge season. The SPS Challenge season, yeah, to qualify the Challenge Finals. They qualified first, not Bigetron Alpha. So a lot of hype were on them for Aura Fire, top 3 team for sure, a lot of people said. I think I was one of the people who said that, at the time, top 3, definitely, right? It was Onic, Bigetron, and then Aura Fire. So seeing this performance from them was definitely unexpected, especially considering they're up against a new team, Dewa United. If you take a look at the drafts here, honestly, there's one thing in common for both of the losses that Aura Fire took. It is because of the Angela. Just don't pick the Angela. I think if you are Aura Fire right now, they definitely can improve on it, right? But in this game, it really shows that they were trying to experiment on something. They're trying something new, and it definitely just did not work out for them. What made them such a strong team in the challenge season of SPS and even Hero was the fact that they had a solid trio mid lane that always rotated or enabled Kabuki. You already have a very good trio mid with Van and Syndrome, the new mid laner for them. Those two, you need to just set up for those two. You need to try to open up for those two first in the early game to get Kabuki into a point where he can carry. It comes down to those two, right? Syndrome and Van need to be able to get that power in the early game. And when you put high on something like an Angela, on something that can't really open the map properly, I would say, you kind of take away the power of your mid trio, Sure, you do have more power on the Ling, but the last draft was just so super weird. Like, they go for the Fredrin in the jungle, and then they go for the Angela too. Like, if you use the Ling, and then it still makes sense, Maybe game 1, well, despite it all, game 1, even though they picked the Angela, I honestly feel like Aura Fire were the better team in game number 1. If you guys watched the game, you should know as well. They were dominating up until they weren't. Dewa United, let's talk about them. How they win in every single game, in every single match that they've won, has been through 50-50 coin flip team fights. And I don't know why, but they're so good at forcing it out of these teams. They did it against Aura Fire. We'll talk about the next match later. But yeah, Dewa United, very 50-50 flips. That's what makes them strong. They just go for team fights and they make it work. They have the mechanical prowess to do so. But Aura Fire, they're good at skirmishes, but this is not the same Aura Fire that can just go for random team fights. They need a bit more stability in their team. Van and Syndrome, play for them, and then late game you can play on Kabuki. I think that's my take on this. Next match, we had Rebellion Zion versus Alter Ego. Now, if Aura Fire was disappointing, I don't know what to say about Alter Ego, man. Like, disappointing is an understatement. A team that got 3rd place last season, now coming in with new recruits up against Rebellion Zion, who has literally, I would say, 0 changes in their roster, except for their roamer. They have Audi TZ, which is a good buy by Rebellion Zion. I really, really like the buy here. Rebellion Zion ODTZ, if you guys don't know, this is also the use of the recap, so I can tell you guys exactly who these players are, what they've made in their team, what changes they've made. But yeah, ODTZ was a player in Bigetron Beta in MDL Season 6 and 7. He was, in my opinion, one of the main reasons that Bigetron Beta were able to win that trophy, MDL Season 6, that Cinderella story for Bigetron Beta. So getting him was a big W. And you can see the impact, definitely. Because when Rebellion Zion shat on Alter Ego 2-1, okay, game number 1, it was, I think it was just a draft diff in game number 1. I think on ODTZ, you do not really want to put him on high mechanical heroes. He already has a lot of things to do as the roamer, as the in-game leader. So he's not really the mechanical god that you would expect him to be. Back when he was in Bigetron Beta, maybe you could pull that shit off. But now, I think given the Kajas, given the Navarias, given the Edith Roams, the heroes that he's been able to make work, hey, I think Rebellion Zion would really benefit if they played it kind of like AP Bren. Because they kind of have the same formula, right? They have a very, well, not the same formula technically, but I think Minotaur would actually work with their composition, with the way Rebellion Zion plays. I'm pretty confused as to why they still try to put him on like high mechanical heroes, even though they know ODTZ is a super, he's everything. He's making the shot calls, he's making the movements, he's opening up the map, he's doing so much already. Put him on lower mechanical heroes, and I think he'll perform. Rebellion Zion have a lot of potential, but Alter Ego, god damn it, dude. Top 3. Top 3. The reason they got top 3 was because of Painino, right? I'm going to be honest here. Sully Boy, Rossi. Well, Rossi was great too. But Sully Boy and Udo were just there. They helped the team get to a point where Pai and Nino could carry. And then every other game, it was always Pai and Nino. Udo and Sully Boy were just setups, right? Sully Boy, the reason he did so well in Season 11 is because he's placed on utility junglers for the most part. He wasn't really given like crazy assassins anymore. He was given utility. And now, because the assassin meta is back, they try to revert, and because Rekt is now in the team, they try to revert and they try to be a trio mid team. It doesn't work. The reason Alter Ego were so good last season was because of their side laners. So utilize the side laners. You already have a good recruit in Rekt. Why are you still trying to play trio mid when it's clear to see from the 2 losses that they got, they can't beat any trio mid. If they can't beat Rebellion Zion's trio mid, there's no way in hell they beat anyone else's trio mid, dude. Rebellion Zion probably has one of, if not the weakest trio mid, right? They're still getting there because they're still new. You're not going to get there. Play for your side lanes, Alter Ego, Nino and Pai. That's how you win. Enable them. I think one of the main reasons as to why they're not able to make this happen is because of Rekt's hero. Rekt's hero is not a side lane player. Let's take a look at the games that they had here. Right on your screen. He picked Edith, which is good for like trio mid, for setups, etc., and fights all around in the mid lane mostly. If you go on the side lanes and look for picks, you're not really gonna get it because you're not really too good on that. At that, Uranus, trio mid hero. Well, okay, this was just a troll pick, but you get the idea. He wants to invade. He wants to be a nuisance. He wants to create space for the trio mid to roam. And Hilda, trio mid as fuck. Like, you want to invade, you want to set up for your jungler to come in and your mid laner to come in, and it's all about that trio mid. You simply can't do that. Like, you can't just play Hilda and then roam to the side lanes and enable your side laners, because the enemy team can do the same. They can go for neutral objectives, and that's why I don't think Alter Ego. I think if they don't change their players or their strategy, they're not going to make it to playoffs. Then we're going to move on to the next day, boys and girls. Week 2, day number 2. Bigetron Alpha versus Geek Fam ID. Geek Fam made a very interesting acquisition. They got Nile from Onic Prodigy, if you guys don't know as well. Nile's from Onic Prodigy, MDL. Onic's MDL team. He's very good mechanically, but he's always just been mechanically gifted. There's nothing too special about the way he paths. There's nothing too special about anything else. He's a very mechanical player, and he's really good at that. And I think that's what Geek Fam are trying to utilize with him. But they've kind of lost a bit of what Jana QD was able to bring to the table, which is the utility, the stability within their comp. Now, Geek Fam are a whole lot more team fighty than I would like to see. I think the main reason Geek Fam were so good last season was because they were always a very formulaic and systematic team until they get behind. If they are behind, then they will start losing. Then they will, well, not start losing. When they're behind in the early game, then they will rely on Beloyski to make random plays on the map to get them back. Like 50-50 split, 50-50 pickoffs on the map. But aside from that, that's it. That was their game plan in season 11. Season 12, now I think they've severely been downgraded in the trio mid department. They had it's not because Niall's bad. I think it's just because Geek Fam haven't actually found the rhythm with this new team. Now they're just Beloy centric. Now it comes down to just Beloy. If Beloy makes a good play, the team wins. But it's always kind of been like that, but now it's even more so that way. You'd expect for a team who has had the same problems for the last 2 seasons, it's only Beloy centric, it's just Beloy, to improve on that aspect, make a lot of other different things happen. But no, it's still just Beloy. If Beloy makes a right call, they win. If Beloy makes a wrong call, they lose. There's nothing else from the other side, from the others. Even Luke has severely downgraded on his glue as well. He isn't as oppressive as he used to be. But now he tries to play the Joy and the Arlet when he can, play the glue. But yeah. For Bigetron Alpha, a bit of bias here now, but I think we've seen what they can do in Snapdragon Pro Series as well. And especially in this match. They went for a very, I would say, experimental second game draft, but they were able to come back from it. They were able to go back to their roots and win the game. So, yeah, for Bigetron Alpha, I think they're just a very solid team, and they're an example of a trio mid done right. If you have that, you can win the games super smooth. That's what happened. Aura versus RRQ. Now, this one was a shocker to a lot of people. Including myself, actually. Because Aura were rated as one of the best teams in Indo, and RRQ were not. But RRQ showed up, man. Gotta give props when props is due. RRQ, I honestly don't see a weak link. I honestly can't see any of them being weak. They have a very solid 5-man roster right now, and with Clay as a shot caller, I expected them to lose a few matches at the start, just to get a grip and just to get a feeling, just to get the right groove going. But no, they didn't even take one match. They just steamrolled their first match, and they're utilizing that momentum to take them even further. Well played, GG to RRQ. Their drafts as well have been phenomenal. Gotta credit Coach Zaya for that, though. I mean, really, they haven't revealed anything because no one has been banning it out from them. We'll talk about that even more later, but let's talk about them here. Just look at this game. They didn't change the Baksha, the Claude, and the Kaja. As opposed to Aura Fire, who had to change everything up after losing game number 1. You can see, literally none of their heroes were the same as game number 1. RQ, it's now this is where it gets scary. It's either these are the heroes that make them, good, or they're just hiding their strats. I think they're hiding their strats. I think their players can play a lot of different compositions. First, they can't just play the Baksha. Skylar maybe for Skylar, he can play the Claude and the Beatrix. That's about it. But he plays the other heroes quite well as well, but not as good as there's Claude and the Beatrix. But so that one might be a little bit okay, different. And Naomi doesn't just play the Kaja. Franco, Kaja, Natalia, Kufra, Atlas. The man is an absolute unit when it comes down to initiator tanks. So, no. I think they're just hiding their strats. I don't think this is them playing good because they've revealed all their strats. So, I'm looking forward to how good RRQ can get. This is just the first week. With more weeks to come, I think they can only move up. So, the fact that they started the first week with 3-0 is already insane. Let's move on to day 3. This is going to be insane. This was insane because I didn't expect Bigetron Alpha to completely... Okay. Last time, it was Alter Ego who were outplayed in-game. This time, Bigetron Alpha versus Alter Ego. This was Alter Ego just completely getting hard stomped in the draft. Coach Aldo just giga stomped both Nefari and Cassius. There was nothing that Alter Ego could do. They were just hard outdrafted. In game 1. In game 2, they were just outplayed. Bigetron Alpha just outplayed them. There's not much to say here. Really, Alter Ego back again. If they don't play for the side laners, if they continue to try to push in their trio mid, this is the result that you can expect. But you can already see the adjustments that were made by Alter Ego, but it still doesn't work. I think they need a lot more work to get through it. Dewa United versus Rebellion Zion. This is a very interesting one because it's kind of the same. Not much to say here. Dewa United just 50-50 coin flipped all the way to victories. Like even in game 1, it was very close, 23-minute game because of those 50-50s, because Dewa United was able to prolong the game. This though, we need to talk about this. RRQ versus Onic. My goodness gracious, my dudes. This match was an absolute fire match. I restreamed it, and in game number 1, it was an outdraft. Onic completely outdrafted RRQ, and they completely outplayed RRQ. I thought there was just no way. This was with San sick. Onic performed this way in game number 1 with San sick. So that was already interesting. But then game 2 came on. And my goodness. I don't know what happened, but Onic suddenly turned to a very experimental team with the Granger. That's something that I did not like. The Minotaur as well. Did not like for Onic. Every time Keyboy picks Minotaur, it's always very 50-50. I think, putting him on a very playmaking or a playmaking hero is just the way to go for him. And that's why RRQ were able to win. Again, staying consistent with their drafts. You can see in game number 1, they were also trying to, change things. They were trying to make things weird. But in game number 2 and 3 onwards, they stay consistent. They stay to what works. The Baksha in the jungle and the Kufra. And then also the Paquito, technically, here. They won with all this. So, again, it comes down to Fairsick and Naomi, and we got to give Clay some props, too. But yeah, this Royal Derby was an absolute banger Royal Derby, and RRQ fans are absolutely ecstatic. So, congratulations to all the RRQ fans out there. Next up, Onic, Geek Fam. I think, unfortunately for Geek Fam, this week was just not good for them. I mean, they were up against Onic and BTR. Even if it wasn't this is an Onic with Albert, not even with San. So yeah, with San's coming back, you can expect Onic to go back. I think they're not going to lose another match. Maybe to Bigetron or RRQ again, but to anyone else, I don't see them losing at all. But yeah, Geek Fam, they got outdrafted and outplayed. The same thing happened here. There's not much to say about this matchup. RRQ Rebellion. This one was interesting because the game 2 was very different. I think game 2 was great for Rebellion Zion. I think their drafts were okay as well. It was just Highs made a very stupid play. I think this is a common problem that we've seen, a problem that has been replayed a lot of times for Rebellion Zion, is the fact that I don't know why Highs just keeps on fucking trolling, dude. This happened against Dewa United as well in the Claude. He made a lot of unnecessary moves. But the rest of Rebellion are really good. I think if they stay consistent, if they play through that trio mid and they fix the gold lane problem, then they should be actually a strong contender. We were almost able to take RRQ down, and RRQ right now are looking undefeated. But I guess that is it for MPL Indonesia. But yeah, dudes, that's about it. To recap everything that happened in MPL Indonesia week number 1, it's all there. Now we move on to Snapdragon Pro Series Season 3 Challenge Finals. We're going to go straight to the playoffs. Well, actually, no. Let's talk about the group stage first. Because this is not what I expected. Group A. Let's start with Group A. RG Philippines number 1, expected. Echo number 2, expected. But third place was definitely not expected. I expected Red Giants to get stomped by almost everyone. Maybe not so much RG Singapore. Maybe not so much Burnix Flash. But I expected them to lose against everyone else. I thought EVOS Icon or RG or Burnix Flash to make it to the third spot, not Red Giants Esports. Like, I think the reason Red Giants was able to win here, get through, was because Burnix Flash, Chama got sick. I think if Chama didn't get sick, it would have been Burnix Flash. And if Chama got sick earlier, then it would have been EVOS Icon. Because EVOS Icon beat Red Giants. Red Giants beat... Yeah, I mean, I think it was a very lucky run. But you can't completely say it's lucky because, they proved themselves to be really good. I think there's no doubt that they could be contenders in the upcoming matches or the upcoming season for MPL Malaysia. Can't wait to see their growth with Arcadia and Super Red. Shout out to Super Red. The guy is really good. Like, I don't know what happened, but he's way better here than he is at Blacklist before. Let's talk about Group B. This is definitely not what I expected from Group B. I expected Onic to be number 1, then I expected AP Bren, and then Bigetron Alpha. It's just a mix of that top three. But I did predict the top three correct for Group B. A fun fact as well, I actually am number one in terms of predictions here for Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals. You guys can see it. I'll put it up on the screen right now. Boom. Yeah, we actually are tied with Gani and Coleus for 15. But it honestly, like, I should have been number one. It's just I had to vote for Bigetron Alpha to win the grand finals. I knew they weren't gonna win on paper, but whatever. We're 15 anyways, right? We're still number one with Coleus and Gani. But yeah, back to Group B. AP Bren really surprised me, but Bigetron Alpha surprised me even more by winning against AP Bren. I thought if Onic couldn't do it, Bigetron would definitely not be able to do it, but they were. They were able to beat AP Bren 2-1. And I think AP Bren just can't figure out Bigetron Alpha, which is weird because, you know what, we'll talk about that later. Let's get to let's talk about Aura Fire first. Aura Fire, lackluster performance, disappointing, kind of the same as MPL ID. EVOS Legends, I said this after MSC, I'll say it again. If they don't make any changes, if this is the only change that they make, Fluffy is basically just Psychots, but better. They are still better, but they are still not top tier. I don't know what it is, but Doma from Evo's Icon needs to be promoted, or brands need to step up, because if they continue like this, I think they might not make it to the playoffs, honestly. No, I think that might be a stretch. I think there's still teams that are worse than them in MPL ID, but yeah, I don't know. Evo's Legends are very disappointing. I expected them to be better. Todok, okay, not to be mean, I know a lot of their players got sick, but what is this lineup? I don't understand what like Todok were thinking. I think even if they were all healthy, they would have been completely destroyed by everyone in this group. Evo's Legends, Aura Fire, Bigetron Alpha, Onic, AP Brand, everyone would have been able to stomp on them, even if they were completely healthy. Like, again, I don't want to shit on them because they were sick, but where the fuck are the players? Like, I understand there was a lot of hate from Malaysian fans after MSC because they didn't perform really well, but that was still the best lineup, the best roster in Malaysia. I don't get it. Like, just because the fans are mad, you try to change everything. You basically put all the tier 3 players in with 4Mays. Like, 4Mays is good, but then the rest of these players, I'm sorry, nothing personal if you guys are watching this, Todok players, but you were clearly just outclassed by everyone. Yeah, I don't know what the management was thinking. I don't know what anyone was thinking who made this decision happen. It was a stupid move. I'll just say that. Maybe the experienced players were also tired. They were like, fuck it. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened between MSC and Snapdragon, but yeah, this was not Todok. I think it's a shame that they sent this team to Snapdragon Pro Series. Like, it was actually a shame. I was very disappointed. Playoffs. Let's talk about playoffs for Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals. Onic beating Red Giants. Okay, predicted almost everything here except Onic and Bigetron Grand Finals. Wow, but I did expect Onic to win the whole thing. Let's talk about the first match. Onic Red Giants. Nothing to be discussed here. Red Giants just completely got outclassed. They did give Onic a run for their money though. Actually, not outclassed. Yeah, not outclassed. Game 1 they were outclassed. Okay, Game 2 though was really close. Was really close. And yeah, they gave Onic a run for their money. Again, a lot of potential from Red Giants. I think the confidence that they got because they qualified to the playoffs and because they were an underdog really helped them like keep on going and keep on improving. So I'm really impressed with Red Giants' performance here. But yeah, Onic predicted outcome. It's still Onic win. Echo versus Bigetron Alpha was not as easy of a prediction for me. I thought Bigetron Alpha were the better team. They ended up proving that right, but yeah, in the upper bracket quarterfinals, I just don't know what happened there. Echo won, and then yeah, honestly for the playoffs, there's not much to talk about, guys. We just passed through it. You know what? I'm gonna skip everything else. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about just the spicy things. RRQ Philippines. I called it. They were really good with Irad. No hate to Demon Kite. He's still a really good player, but his inactivity and his rust really shows. I've seen so many comments, again, from people saying that, Demon Kite's the better choice. Demon Kite is better than Irad, but I honestly don't think so. I think Irad is still better. I think Irad is maybe one of the best junglers in RG. Well, no, the best jungler for RG Philippines. I think he's better than H2. I think he's better than Demon Kite right now. If Demon Kite goes back to his MSC 2022 form, then yeah, maybe he can be better again. But his inactivity really shows. And yeah, without Irad, the team really struggled. I think because they prepared with Irad. Challenge season, they had Irad. He wasn't able to fly, and the whole team got fucked. You can really see it was very clear. Fredrin, and you only played utility, and even played Karina, which is not even good right now. But yeah, other than that, Echo. I want to talk about the Sanji thing. The Zaida and Sanji throw will go down in history as like one of the biggest throws in MLBB. But give him a break, guys. I know there's a lot of hate, especially from the Echo fans or Echo haters towards Sanji and Zaida. But give them time, guys. Zaida especially is a rookie. He needs time to improve. He needs time to understand. And if you hate him, you're taking away his confidence, and he's not really gonna be able to perform later. For Sanji, man's an M4 champ. Like, he hasn't made any mistakes. I would say he makes the least amount of mistakes compared to everyone else on Echo. The one mistake he made was this, and it was pretty big, but don't hate him, and don't let what happened recently shit on his legacy. The man's still a fucking amazing player, and he's still young as fuck. Okay? So yeah. Next on the list, let's talk about Bigetron Alpha, dude. Let's talk about Bigetron Alpha. They're Cinderella run, dude. Cinderella run. Bigetron Alpha really impressed me. I'm a Bigetron Alpha fan. I expected, good performances from them, but I didn't expect them to completely sweep through the lower brackets like this. RGPH, gone. Echo, gone. AB Brand, gone. Moreno's got that dog in him, dude. Moreno is... I love him. I love him so much. He maybe is my favorite MPL... favorite Indonesian player. My favorite player is still Kyrie, but my favorite Indonesian player, I think, is Moreno now, dude. Like... God damn. I love it when players have personality. I think in Indonesia especially, most players are fucking bots when it comes down to their personalities. Like, they have zero personality. The only teams with personality would be Alter Ego. I would say Onic has Keyboy, but he kind of dialed it back. He was spicy in season 11 grand like when he beat Alter Ego. But other than that, no. But look, okay, what made Keyboy so hype against Alter Ego and after that was because he made that spicy comment, right? Where's the spicy boy? Where's the miracle boy? This is Keyboy. And players with personality, they're confident enough to be able to do that. So, well, I wouldn't even say it's just Indonesia. I think MLBB, just the world of MLBB esports, has just been no personality gaming. It's just been, they're good at games, but they have no personality. That's why I really like Mobazane. Mobazane's one of my favorite players as well. Definitely my favorite player from NA. And it's because he has a personality, dude. Like, he doesn't just say random like, he doesn't just say, yeah, we got lucky, etc. It's so boring and so shy. So I'm really happy Bigetron Alpha has that in them. Moreno. Props to Moreno. But yeah. AP Bren. Didn't expect them. Well, I did expect them to lose against Onic. Didn't expect them to lose against Bigetron Alpha. But I think this is kind of like it's kind of a weird mix, yeah? Because AP Bren was able to take Onic to 3-2, but Bigetron Alpha were not able to do anything to Onic. It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors, but Onic are Onic are like rock, paper, and scissors. They beat everyone. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's about it, guys. For the whole recap of MPL Indonesia and Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals. Please do leave a comment on what you guys think. If you guys agree with a lot of my takes here, it's kind of like a mini Sarcast. It's like an MPL ID specific Sarcast. We'll do another Sarcast definitely in the future, but for now, hope you guys enjoy the MPL ID recap videos. And if you guys enjoy, then we will do this every week. But if you guys don't enjoy, then yeah, I guess we might not do it every week. We might do it like in a half season or something, Down below if you guys think any of these takes are good or bad. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, MPL Indonesia. Peace out.